Hello, hello, hello. Yes. Oh, there's so much video. There's Jada video. There's Gianna video. There's Kirsten video. That's awesome. That's awesome. Not that I'm saying that anybody who's not showing video is a problem, but I'm just saying, oh my God, Jasmine, there she goes. See, be still my heart. As long, and Steven, what am I talking about here? This is like this. Oh, this could be a population record, actually. Okay, this is awesome. And I'm not trying to, okay, but I am, but I'm not, but I am. Okay. It is no, it's great to see you. Oh, and I have to do the other hellos. Wait, there's no hellos? Am I getting no hellos? It's a disaster. I suppose the videos do serve. Oh my God, but look at all the video. What? Hi, Prof. Hi, Kirsten. My God, I would take this ratio of video to hellos any day. Good afternoon, Stephen. That's awesome. Wait, this is crazy. This really is an all-time record, I think. Okay, so hello, Gianna. Hello, Jada. Hello, Kirsten. Hello, Jasmine. Hello, Stephen. Hello, Abdel. Hello, Katya. Hello. Look at that video. Hello, Ashley. Hello, Sarah. And I got all that stuff from you, Sarah. Okay, and I even see. Was that the phys? That's not the fit. That almost looks like the physics lab. Oh my God. Okay. I know there's other yellow rooms and I'm so egocentric. But is that a? And Ashley, are you guys on the 5th floor of the new building? No. Okay, I'm just being egocentric. I just think one yellow thing. Okay. And hello, Jocelyn, and hello, Euban, and hello, Brianna. And I'm going to the chat. I said hi, Kirsten. Good afternoon, Stephen. Good afternoon, Jocelyn. Good afternoon, Brianna. Oh, I'm good. Thank you, Euban. Apparently I'm very good. I was terrible like 5 minutes ago, and now I'm very good. It is a beautiful day. Top of the afternoon. Excuse me. Oh, and there's 4 more people. Hold on. Oh, the ratio is about to go down for sure. But okay. It is a beautiful day. Oh, the first floor. Oh, thank you for answering. The first floor. Oh, like, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. Oh, of course. Can I let? Yes, thank you. Sorry, is Asma? Um, Sorry. Yes, and thank you for telling me. Oh, that means you guys are. Oh, by the way, that totally counts as multiplayer co-op. That Abdel just asked me to let in Osmail. That's That's point. Submit that to multiplayer co-op for sure. And hello, Brian. And yes. I didn't know if I was going to say it first or she was, but yeah, what Allsmile is saying in the chat, like it's totes true. It kind of was mind blowing for me. I felt like it's just, yeah, she's like actually a real person. You guys probably already knew that, but I didn't know that. She like has 3 dimensions, like really. She's like, she walks around in permanent video or sits on the 4th floor. It's on the floor. Yes, which also means, by the way, no, and of course, like I'm just being silly in a way, but oh my God, I know, right? And good afternoon, Jose, and good afternoon, Tobias, and 3D. Yes, Abdel. And like, really, okay, obviously we have to get to the class material here, but you know, it still is a thrill to me when like you people become human beings or I become a human being to you or whatever. Like it's a little bit like me being in kindergarten and then being in the supermarket with my mom and then seeing my kindergarten teacher and being like, wait, what? My kindergarten teacher like actually eats food and shops for it and like lives is anytime anywhere not in the kindergarten classroom. Like what? It's a little bit like that for me, but it's also just like, oh, this is so like these are real human beings. And by the way, I hope you take 204 live next semester or whatever. But the other thing, so it was very exciting to see All Smile. I felt like I was like ready for her to set up a group chat for everybody just in the hallway right then, just because like that's how she do. But the one thing too is that where I ran into her was, and I hope I run into all of you, obviously. It's just that exciting, but it was right near where my actual office is. And I think I pointed out to her. So like, if you're ever with her, like, cause my office is like weird to find, but I would like, anyway, she could tell you where it is. Okay. In the group chat. Okay, wait, there was one. So we're going to go to, what we're going to do today, you're going to get to know each. Oh, I love that Tobias avatar. Hey, the ratio of video to non-video is still pretty high today. Wow. And good afternoon, Montserrat. Yes, good afternoon. Awesome. Oh, and if I didn't say hello to, I think I said hello to everybody. Yeah. So today's gonna be a little bit different format. Like not, oh, did I just lose? We just lost the screen? I see. Uh-oh. Oh, that's a little unfortunate. Did I just run out of batteries? Okay, my screen just, is that really true? Okay, my screen is rebooting. Slightly unfortunate, but not really that unfortunate anyway, just because we're gonna have a discussion today. So we're just moving along in the curriculum here. And as we'll start getting faster and faster, as I keep saying, and I think we actually are getting faster and faster. But today is a slight left turn because now today, oh yeah, okay, so I've lost my screen, but that's okay. Today we turn to the left a little bit to go over homework number 3, which is train of thought. So first of all, please take that out. Like, please take out the, somehow electronically or on paper, have in front of you the questions of train of thought, and have in front of you, if you can, your answers or your memory of your answers. Again, as I keep saying these early weeks, if you haven't gotten it back yet, that is not because you didn't do it or that I didn't know you didn't do it, or anything personal. You probably haven't gotten it back yet. But that won't affect today at all. If you do have your copy of the answers, that'd be great. Or if you remember what you put, that would be great. We're going to go into breakout rooms in a minute. We're going to talk in breakout rooms for about 15, 20 minutes. I mean, you're going to talk in breakout rooms, and then we're going to come back and report our findings from the breakout rooms and have a discussion here. So it's like a discussion day. And then we move on to sheet 4. I'm going to warn you, not warn you, I'm going to say, train of thought is obviously a different kind of homework assignment. Just as we were building up speed, I know, and getting more quantitative and getting more equations, which we are. Oh, sorry. Normally, so Abdel's question is a fair one. Hold on. Oh, and hi, Miriam. Sorry. Sorry. And hello, Emily. Sorry. And good afternoon. Oh, and sorry, did I do a giveaway of a direct chat by accident? Okay, but hello and good afternoon, everyone. Let me finish what I was saying. I mean, the honest answer, the fast answer to what Abdel's asking is I generally don't know. I generally I don't mean it to be.
Look at this.
And I think maybe Brian. Okay. I think the answer is no. I feel bad about that, but I might change my mind. But I'm like a little. What I was about to say, you'll see why. What I was about to say is that the thing about train of thought is I know we were just starting to build momentum and get some equations down and start making this look more and more like physics, starting to solve some problems. And train of thought is a very discussion-y, exploratory kind of thing. It's super important. It's weird. I mean, it's unusual, but it's super important. It lays the groundwork for concepts that we need for the rest of our life in physics. Concepts that I love and that really can only be understood by a good discussion, or at least one. So we have to do it. It sort of takes us, it'll feel like it's taking us off track slightly, but we have to do it. And I have to be very careful because I'm going to tell you right now, like I know from experience, one does not understand the concepts that come from train of thought unless one discusses it a little bit. And let me tell you that after one discusses it a little bit, there are concepts to come out. And I don't mean rough, vague feelings. I mean like laws and principles that we will write down that we need for the rest of physics that will come from this. And then those turn into equations. So it turns into something very concrete, but it has to be a little bit vague at first before it's concrete. And if I'm not careful, as you can see already, once we start talking about train of thought, if I'm not careful, I could talk about it for the rest of the semester without ever doing an equation. Now that's not going to happen. I mean, I'm going to cut it off. Today will be the one day that we talk about it explicitly, and that's it. But this is all to say, I promise we're going to have a discussion today. Hopefully it'll be fun. It's certainly not a test or anything like that. It's just a discussion. At the end of the discussion, I'm going to tell you what the point sort of was. We're going to write down, or you're going to see the points written down, the beginning of the points written down in Google Classroom. It gives us something called a principle. The principle has ultimately 7 forms. The 7 forms guide us through the curriculum. So so please know that there is a very concrete conclusion of this. And then we go back to equations and all of that. But the equations are much easier to use and much more powerful to use once you know this concept. I'm saying all that to say that there's a little bit of, it'll feel a little bit inefficient and there's a little bit of a time concern. So I am just going to make the breakout rooms. I apologize for that. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put in the chat. Oh, let me look in the chat first. Oh, and good afternoon, Samaya. Awesome. And what? Okay. Okay. I see. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking in the direct chat. I see your point. Okay. So I'm gonna, yes, I will make the breakout rooms in a second, but I will try to make them according to certain geographical considerations. I will try to accommodate geographical considerations. And it's true. I mean, I'm going to make the breakout rooms in a minute. I'm going to post them. I'm going to try to take into account. I mean, if you need to put in the direct chat something like where I am, I can't unmute or something, I will try to accommodate that. Once you're in the breakout rooms, you can still send me a direct chat and say, can you please switch me over here or something, but it's not going to be for the whole class anyway. But okay, I see. I'm going to make them in a second, but first I'm going to put some questions in the chat, in the public chat here. And I think, you tell me if I'm wrong, but I think what happens is when you go into the breakout rooms, or I could put them. Well, anyway, I'm going to put them in the. Okay, I see. All right, I'm going to do my best with the breakout rooms, but you guys do your best too. Like if I don't do them perfectly, please forgive. And if you're in a situation where you can only chat to your colleagues, that's fine. I mean, just do that. But what I'm going to do right now is in the public chat, I'm going to put 3 questions or so. I'd like you to write them down or make a note of them in your own quick words. You're going to bring those questions with you, all of you, into the breakout rooms. They are the questions that I want you to come to consensus on in your groups. You'll have like 20 minutes in the groups to just like share and care your responses to these questions. Then you come to a consensus in the group, and then I'm going to call you all back. And then each and any one of you who wants is going to report on the findings of your group. I mean, it could be more than one person from the same group if we want, but first we'll hear one person from each group just report. So take a note of these questions, please. Here we go. Hold on one second. Okay, so it's 3 questions. So I'm going to, I think they're all there. Yeah. So you're going to make it. Now, again, this is not a test by any means. This is for the purpose of discussion. This really, the more we can just like, this is for the purpose of discussion, of putting in all of our thoughts and having our thoughts like scramble around and affect each other. So these 3 questions you can put in your own words, and you're not turning anything in, but you bring these questions that are in the public chat here. Again, they're going to disappear. What, the public chat disappears, I think. Once you go into the breakout rooms. But in the breakout rooms, you'll notice that these questions are sort of addressed to you, like whoever you are, and they're about your experience with the homework. But then by the end, I'm asking you to reflect on what's happening in the room. So basically, you're going to each go into the room. There's going to be like 4 of you or whatever in a room. You're each just going to trade your responses to these first 2 questions, basically the first 2. Like, when you started the homework, did you, right at the beginning, when it was like, is the train moving or not? Or however the questions put it, you're going to tell the group what your answer was. You could say, you can expand. This is meant to be expansive. These are meant to be prompt. So like, if your point is, well, I said yes, but here's what my difficulty with the question was, or like, I kept like wondering whether Yaverbaum meant blah or Yaverbaum meant blah. So I kind of put this, but I was hedging my bets. I was really like, if he actually meant this other thing, then I really meant this. You can say whatever you want, but just have a quick discussion about what all your initial responses were. And your sort of goal in that discussion is to get to know, if anybody asked you, what does your friend in the room think, you'd be able to report. Okay. And then the second question is, at any point in the homework, at any point when you personally were doing the homework, at any point, did your view of whether the train was moving or not change, or in any way? Or even did you, if it did, like, when did it change and why? Or if it didn't change, did you become more secure about your answer or less secure about your answer? Like, did your emotional response to your answer change? That's what you're reporting to the group. And just let the discussion fly informally a little bit. So you're not trying to convince anybody of anything. It's not about you're trying to show the other person why you're right and they're wrong, but you are trying to show the other person what you're thinking, so you can back and forth a little bit until the point. And again, we're going to have about 20 minutes to do this. So then after you've discussed for a bit and traded answers, then see if anything you're thinking, like basically your question by the end is, if you were to do this homework now, would you put anything differently just based on the discussion in your room? We're really trying to see is, if once you take your homework and share it with 3 other people, I mean, this particular homework, like, does it in any way affect your final view of that homework? And I just mean, I know the homework was very thick and had a lot of drawings and all this, but we're focusing on the central question of just like, are you freaking moving or not? And we ultimately kind of want to know if your whole larger view on that gets affected by 2 or 3 other people or not. And even if your view by the end is like, I hate this question, fine, but like, why? Okay. So in a minute, okay. So, I was supposed to so you're copying those down, or you already did. Let me quickly try to make these breakout rooms. Going to try to make them with the consideration that people told me. Wait, there's one. Okay, so hold on. I'm just now looking. Give me a second. Sorry. Sorry, bear with me for a second. Okay. Okay, I think, you just, okay, hold on. I'm getting input in the chat. Okay, bear with me. Good heaven. Wait, so all right, so one room is going to be a little bit lower. Oh my God. Okay, whatever. All right, so to be totally honest, is that even possible? The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Like that's such a tall order, isn't it? Okay, so yeah, the groups are a little, all right. Well, here we go. Okay, here we go. Oh, so Jay, oh, okay, okay. And Brian, you see what to do? Okay. Hi, I don't know if you can, wait, can you hear me? If you can hear me, Miriam, we're in breakout rooms. Hold on, I'll put you in one in a second. Sorry. And we're about to, okay.
Professor,
Yes,
I
hi.
was I was in the breakout room, but all of a sudden I was locked out. I don't know what happened.
Oh, okay, sorry. Which room, do you remember which room?
4.
4? Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
And I'll send you back and you can tell them I'm gonna bring back everybody in like 3 minutes, but if you can let
Oh,
them,
okay.
okay, thanks. But
Okay.
room 4, you said, okay, great.
Yes, 4.
Okay. Wait, did I just do it? Oh, okay. Hello. Okay. Hello. Hello. Hi. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hello. Hello. All right. Oh, Tobias. Oh my God, Tobias. Now he's taken to a higher level now. Oh, he caught that reference the other day. You guys see, this is what I mean. There's all different kinds of ways to participate and to show that you're paying attention. He is definitely paying attention. Okay. And Osmael, well, I mean, we know. I mean, okay, no, I'm not playing fair. I'm not. I'm just saying, but I'm not, but I am. Okay. So welcome all back. Oh, and Jose just won the lottery, I think. Okay, wait. Oh, okay. Oh, got you. Okay. Wait, I'm looking at the chat. Okay, fair enough. I appreciate. Okay, thank you, private chat person. And by the way, I hope you had fun in those rooms. I gave you a little bit longer in the rooms than I meant to. I mean, a little bit longer than I meant to. I apologize for that. So we're going to race this part along. I'm going to also warn you right now. So I'm going to hear from you right now. Wait, you can hear me, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going to hear from you. We're all going to hear from you right now. The idea right now is just to say whatever you say. But again, let me warn you that there is a takeaway from all this. Like there is a purpose. There is a principle that has 3 forms that we're going to get today, this week. I mean, that we're going to write down and get in the Google Classroom today. And then there's more forms coming through the semester. And these forms we use to set up equations and to understand our equations and to solve problems. So because I know once we get this going, we're going to race against the clock. I just want to make clear right now that the principle that we'll get to at the end of all of this is written in the notes that I have for today that are not on the screen right now because they'll take up too much of the screen, but they're written down and they're going to be put in a PDF in your Google Classroom right when this is done. So even if I don't say them all, they're going to be written down like on a slide or whatever. And I will want you to know them. So just look out for that. Like the regular notes of today, even if we never put them on the board, they're going into your Google Classroom when we're done. And if you're ever trying to wonder or tell your friends or anything, or go back and try to figure out like what was the point of today's class or what do you need to know from it, it's the thing that's written down in the PDF that's going to go into your Google Classroom right when we're done. Okay, so I just want to say that in case it gets lost in translation once we get rolling. So now, having said that, I'd love to vote, and also you can remind me, you can text me or something. I'm definitely going to open up a participation portal just for anybody who's like willing to participate in this. You can use the chat, obviously, but I would first encourage anybody's voice, anybody who wants to volunteer to speak about basically what happened in their room. Like what conclusions did you come to about those 3 questions? Can I get any volunteer at all to speak? Can I get any volunteer to speak about what, and I know many of you are like in the library and stuff like that. I know not all of you can speak, and we will use chat also, but is anybody in a position where they could speak to the group about what just happened in their room? Oh my God, wait, am I like worried? So wait, did we only have Pokemon battles in the room? Is that what's happening? Is that what can anybody speak? Or if you really can't speak, then put something in the chat, please, but let me know you're alive. Or did anything happen in the rooms? Please, someone put something in the chat or tell me should I have gone into the rooms and done that kind of thing?
I can speak. I don't know if it's like kind of noisy though, because I'm outside.
Okay, no, please. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you.
Okay. So we said that there wasn't enough information to tell if the train was moving or not, just because saying either a definite yes or no would require you to make assumptions.
Cool. Oh, okay. So you couldn't definitively say whether it was moving or not. You'd have to make assumptions, and that's what. So basically, everybody in your room, that was a consensus of your whole room. Is that what you're saying? Oh, cool. Okay. And can I ask you this? I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm just trying to get, okay. Are you saying that that's basically what they felt when they walked into the room and what they felt when they came out of the room? Like it was basically like not really any change occurred.
Well, I don't want to speak on behalf of anyone, but for me at least, that's how I felt coming into the room, and even leaving it. While I like saw different like perspectives on certain questions, I still think like you'd have to make certain assumptions to take out a certain answer.
Wow. Okay. Okay. And give it just a quick, this is great. Totally honest, totally helpful. And right, I guess you can't speak on behalf of anybody else's thoughts. That's true. But can you just give me, in terms of just what people said, give me just one quick example when you just said like about an assumption, like what's a kind of assumption we would have to make in order, because put another way, you said twice, and it's very interesting and probably very right, that in order to definitively say whether we're moving or not, we'd have to make a certain assumption. Another way of putting that, I suppose, like when some people maybe in your room were saying we don't have enough information, it's sort of similar things, like to say if we had this more information, we could decide, or put another way, if I decide right now, then I'm assuming something about that information that I don't know. So, I wonder if you could tell me, can you give me an example of something that either you would have to assume in order to decide, or something that if you actually knew it, then you could decide? Does that make sense?
Well, I guess for like the question about like the lights like that were coming in, so I guess an assumption you'd make if you saw the lights coming in from the west, you could say that you were moving in the west direction.
Oh, okay. I'm glad I asked that. That makes total sense. And I will move on in a second and take you off the hot seat. And again, someone remind me to open up a portal, because anybody who is willing to sit on the hot seat here, I think is doing something very helpful and gutsy. And I'm not trying to grill you, but that is actually really helpful. So let me ask one last question about that. Does that mean then, like, and I totally agree, by the way, I mean, I completely, and by the way, I mean, I can agree with everything Jasmine's saying, and that doesn't, and even if someone else is going to say something different, it doesn't mean I can't also agree with them. I mean, there's like a perspective thing going on in this whole scenario for sure. But so let me ask this then, when you say like, if we knew the lights were moving to the west, like we would know that we're moving to the east and vice versa. Makes total sense. But then that makes me wonder, are you saying that like that why we need more assumptions or more information is to know specifically how we're moving? Like, are you saying like we do know we're moving, we just don't know how? Or are you saying like that would give us a clue how we're moving, and then therefore we would know that we were moving? Like, because that's very specific. Like you're saying we would need more facts to tell us whether we were moving west or east. And I'm just thinking like, oh, that's super specific. That no one was even demanding that you know that. We're just wondering if you're moving at all. Does that, so what am I asking? So I'm asking your assumptions though, still, you're saying that would still be necessary to get you to know whether you're moving or not, like period, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you would assume that we were moving, but you can't, like, you wouldn't know that.
Okay, got you. All right, very helpful, very cool. That was Jasmine, ladies and gentlemen. She's she's going on the express train to heaven. She's getting a job. She's going to graduate school, and she's going to be on the Supreme Court. So anybody else want to be on the Supreme Court? I mean, anybody? Oh wait, I'm looking in the chat. There might be something happening in the chat. Hold on a sec. But that was great. Very helpful what Miriam put in the chat. And I'm assuming, and because Miriam put in the chat, something in the chat, which I'm going to read out loud, I'm assuming she put it there because she can't talk, but if she can talk, I'm definitely going to ask her to like step up and elaborate on this. Oh, now like, see, this is so great. I'm actually knowing what you guys look like. It's amazing. Well, you actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You could be a Supreme Court right there. Wow. And I now know what it looks like when one of you yawns, but okay, wait. So with Miriam, she says, I had someone who changed their answers. They said no first, then they changed it to yes. That's very important data, by the way. Again, whether Miriam actually talks about it or not, or whether I never, very interesting. Okay, and I'm not looking for names and it's not about grades. Like, I don't care who, and it's not good or bad, but it's definitely noteworthy to me that, so in Miriam's group, it sounds like one person did change their mind. They said no first, and they changed it to yes. Then in Ashley's group, it looks like no one changed their mind. Also in Jasmine's group, which I don't think was the same group. I don't think. Okay, so Jasmine's group held steady the whole time. And this is pretty interesting too, because I gave you accidentally a little bit more time than I meant. So I don't know what that says. I don't know if that means more time to solidify or more time to change. But then Ashley's saying no one in their group changed their mind. And Jose is saying no one. Wow. And by the way, so you guys are, wow, no one. All right. So I got to hear that. Let me ask this. I do want to hear from whomever, but that's interesting that so many of you guys are saying whatever you, and I don't know if you were all saying the same thing, but you were saying that whatever you were saying was holding steady even in a group discussion. And that's a little bit unusual. I mean, well, it's, I don't know if it's unusual. It's interesting. Let me ask you this, show of electronic hands. By the time I called you out of the rooms, and be honest about this, by the time I called you out of the rooms, had it been sort of pretty silent in your room for a while? But like, have you been done for a while by the time I called you, or when I called you? So show of hands, if by the time I called you, you had honestly been done for a while and kind of just waiting to be called, as opposed to you were in the middle of a discussion and I called you and then you ended it. So raise your hand if you had been done for a while. So one, two, thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, Brianna. Thank you, Katya. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Jada. Okay, now put your hands down. I'm just curious. Raise your hand if when I called you, and Jocelyn, thank you. Okay. Now put your hands if when I called you, your group was still like mid-discussion, like something was happening when I called you in. Raise your hand if that. So some people, wait, is it the same room? And you're smiling. What does that mean? Because it's all the same room. Is that why? Or, yeah. Okay. So that, and honestly, okay. So, you know, also we could do a whole study on this. So the one room, and you guys that are all in the same room, in the same real physical room, you were in fact talking as human beings, like physically in the room, right? Yes.
Yeah, we were muted.
Were or were not? Wait. Oh, there you go. Say that. Who was that? No, talk to me. Talk to me. What's going on? I just lost it. It was like humanity for a minute. Who just said that? You were muted.
I was just saying that we were on mute on Zoom and just talking amongst ourselves because we're right next to each other.
Okay, which is great. And like, obviously, no, and thank you. And obviously, I don't think there's any way to deny that's, of course, that's a better, I mean, so that group notified me that they were in a physical space. So I arranged that breakout room around that. I mean, maybe that's totally unfair. I don't know. But how can I resist? Because of course we all know this whole, I think we're doing a great job with Zoom, all of us, as best as we can. But of course, a real discussion in a real room can do things that you can't through. So it's probably not a coincidence that that room was still talking when I stopped them. So I'm going to ask that. So I do want to know from that room, the physical room, the yellow, like from now on, it's like team yellow, whatever. Are you telling me that even though you were still talking, nothing changed it? Like, can you honestly tell me that not one person's view of anything in any way changed at all throughout the whole? Wait, what? Ashley's totally, wait, talk to me, Ashley. What that means no yes or yes?
Yeah, no, we just like kind of compared our answers, but they didn't line up. And we just like, as one person gave their reasoning for why it was yes, someone would be like, that makes sense. But this like tags onto that and that's why it's no. And someone would be like, yeah, but that tags onto that and that's why it's yes. So we just kind of like kept adding on to each other, but still sticking in our realms of what we originally thought.
Okay. Okay. First of all, very helpful, very articulate, very honest. Okay, so we got the Supreme Court and now you're running for Secretary of State. Got it. Okay. No, that was very, okay. And very interesting. Like you could see why, if I'm not careful, we could just talk about the talking of this for all, because, okay, so now I'm also a little bit relieved. Oh, and then I'm going to get Abdel. That's a hand. Okay, go. Fine. Yeah, go.
Yeah, sorry, that was an accident. So.
Oh, okay. All right. No, but what Ashley's, look, And let's also, do we all secretly suspect that these guys that are in the same physical room, that one of the reasons that they might have kept on talking is like, maybe they were also having fun talking about maybe something else? Sure, of course, but that's what I mean, obviously, but I think it's very interesting in revealing that Ashley's saying like that they kept that they kept sticking in their realms, as she says, which is very human and very not surprising, that they would keep staying in their ground because you kind of can with this, like it's pretty hard to be talked out of a position in this question of motion. But she's saying that in their room, even though they kept sticking in their own realm, and even if no one changed their mind by the end, she's also saying that I think she's saying that there were like 5 different minds in the room. Like there might not have been much change of any one individual, but it sounds like there were very different opinions or perspectives in the room, that somehow in that room, they were finding all were different, but either compatible enough not to change their mind. Is that a fair? Okay. Which is interesting. Like, because one thing I want to say, I mean, it is a little bit unusual. It's true. If, with 25 minutes of discussion or 30 minutes of discussion, it's a little bit unusual or noteworthy if nobody's view changes at all, or is affected or threatened or or improved or something at all. But even if we're in a situation where everybody has a view and is seeing like, that's interesting, that guy over there has a totally different, or that gal over there has a totally different view from mine that I wasn't expecting, and it wasn't my view, but I'm not going to change mine because somehow I'm noticing that even though their view is totally opposite, there's something about theirs that's adding on to mine, or something about mine that's adding on to theirs. Both of these views seem to be able to exist in the world. So even that is some kind of like, oh, wait, there's something going on in this question that more than one view seems tolerable. And to be even more concrete to everybody, notice this whole sheet. I mean, it's like a long packet. It's like a long activity. There's a lot going on here. It's maybe very vague, but in the end, it crystallizes to something incredibly simple, which is just, is something moving or not? And I might add, because we're running out of time, I want to still hear more from you. I know it's a hypothetical. It is a hypothetical, like a super slick train, like the A train in Manhattan or whatever. Our trains are usually not that smooth or that deceptive, but make no mistake, if you take a train in Washington, D.C. or Tokyo, or if you've ever been on an airplane, or if you've ever been in a freaking elevator in John Jay, I think it's very possible to be in a vehicle or a situation where the motion is smooth enough that at least for one instant, for 1 minute, you can be, I'm just asserting this now because we're running out of time. I want to say this is a hypothetical, a thought experiment, but I think it absolutely corresponds to experiences that I'm pretty sure everybody in this room has had in their real life, even for a minute, where you could be for a minute legitimately confused or legitimately fooled as to whether you're actually moving or not. And you might or might not be able to resolve it fast. You might be able to resolve it fast. But I think we all know that you could be in an elevator, and once the thing takes off and it's just cruising in the middle floors, the only way you know you're moving is because you think you know you're moving, because you think that makes sense, because you walked in and you think it's more realistic than the 4th floor coming to you or whatever. But I think we all know if we close our eyes, like there's no indication that we're moving when we're in an elevator or in a sub. So I do want to point out that just the question of whether, like how, if you've ever awakened on the highway, if you're driving or someone else is driving, you're on the highway and you fall asleep and then you wake up and you're like, look up and like, oh my God, their foot slipped off the brakes. Like we're totally sliding backwards. And then you look next to you because like there's this big truck that's next to you, like slipping forward. And then you're like, oh, no, the truck is slipping forwards. We're not slipping backwards. You might resolve it in a moment. But the fact that you could have that like thing, gets at that there is something legitimately confusing about motion. There is some reason that 5 different people in the yellow room could have 5 different views or many different views and not even be able to convince each other that they're wrong or something. There is something open, seemingly open-ended or unresolved about the simple question of smooth motion. So I'm just asserting that. So wait, okay, so who else hasn't, is there anybody, well, let me look at the chat, but anybody, if you're not, anybody want, I'm looking, the LIRR, okay, that's good, 60, yeah, oh, cool, cool, okay, I'm looking in the chat, hold on a second. We were still, okay, wait, there was a lot in this chat, I should have shut up. Darn it. Okay, someone changed their answer, some people didn't. And again, I'm just also saying, like, even if you didn't change your answer, notice that your answer might not be the same as someone else's. Also, there's also please note, I know it's 417, but also please note that your answer might not have changed in the room. But part of my question was, did it ever change even when you were doing the homework? I.e., did you think one thing, and then when the white lights came in, like, and this goes back to, I think it was Jasmine's thing, like the white lights might not have ended up being enough information to actually seal the deal for you one way or the other. But for a lot of people, once the white lights come in, they're at least like, oh, this seems like it affects the question somehow. Like, this seems like information. A lot of people are like, this is more information now. Now, I don't know if it's enough, but it tends to make me realize that there's something about this question where, like, what is the kind of information that I'm looking for to seal the deal? In fact, wait, I am even gonna, because it's 418, with the white lights, one thing you could say is you see these white lights moving, and like Jasmine said, if you knew they were moving to the east, you might say to yourself, okay, that seals the deal. The white lights are moving to the east, so I'm moving to the west. But of course, what a lot of people probably said in the rooms, or might say very legitimately, is, well, wait a minute. And I think Jasmine's saying this too, like, wait, that still begs the question. Like, the whole thing is, the white lights are going to the east, but the question is it that the white lights are actually moving to the east and while I'm actually sitting still, or is it that the white lights are actually sitting still while I'm moving to the west? Like, I don't know. That's what I don't know, right? And I think you can realize a scenario like the LIRR somewhere where you would legitimately not know. Wait, we have 1 minute. I'm flying through the 24/7. Okay, here's the deal. We have 1 minute. So let me tell you what the takeaway of this is. What this is really about, what does the train represent? It represents a scenario that's real, where there really is legitimate confusion about motion, and that legitimate situation lasted for hundreds and thousands of years. The train represents Earth, if that hadn't crossed your mind. For hundreds of thousands of years, we're on an Earth. We feel stable, we feel still, and we look up in the sky for answers as to what's going on and what are we doing in the universe and are we still or not. And we see all these white lights moving past in the sky perpetually all the time. And some of us are like, aha, that says something. And we're like, but what does it say? Does it say that the white lights are moving past us while we sit still, or the white lights are sitting still while we move past them? Because it sure is a weird coincidence that like 1,500 points of light every night are all moving in a formation together. That's certainly right. Or are they both moving? Very good, Ashley, right. So just know, since I know it's 420, yeah, this goes to 420, just know that for hundreds and thousands of years, it's not like everybody just sat around going, we're not moving. And then one day Galileo or Copernicus stood up and like took a baseball bat against the church and went, no, we are not. I'm a scientist. Here comes science. We win. It's not that simple at all. Not at all. For hundreds and thousands of years, people struggled with the question of, do we have enough information to figure out whether we're moving or not? It feels like we're not moving, but a lot of times it feels like we're not moving when we're pretty sure we are. And a lot of times we think we are when we aren't. What is the deal? How can we figure out whether Earth is moving or not? And the ultimate answer, and I know it's 420, and we're going to get back to this on Monday, but the ultimate very real answer that comes from Galileo, the ultimate really real answer that's written in your notes, that's put in the classroom, is Galileo says, you know what? Whatever the laws of physics are, they're going to be the same at every constant speed. Whatever they are, I don't know, but they're going to be the same at every constant speed, which means whatever constant speed you were at, any experiment you would ever do in physics would work out the same, which means you would feel the same, which means whatever constant speed you were at, it would feel the same as any other constant speed, which bottom line for right now, because I know we have to go, the bottom line is Galileo says, oh, you know what? Speed, it is a matter of perspective. Speed, velocity is a relation between two objects. It is not a property of one object. It does totally matter how you look at it. The Earth can look at the sun and say that the sun is moving. The sun can look at the Earth and say the Earth is moving, and they're both right. That's actual physics. Physics is built on that belief. It doesn't allow for it. It's built on it. It's called the principle of relativity. We'll continue with it on Monday, but you've been very good. You've been very patient. Yes, have a good day. Sorry to go over. We'll continue with that. Have a great day. Have a good day. Yes, have a very good. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day. Awesome. Good job, Jose. Thank you for the video. That's awesome. Have a good day. Thank you. All good, Kevin?